welcome back to another episode of Gig Talks. This is episode number 4, and I know the very first 3 episodes were very gigging related, more than anything, and I know that's not for everybody. Some people on my channel, they really like the live gigging advice and tips, content, and some are just complete beginners that are just stepping into the world of being guitar players, and maybe it's not for them. So this episode's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to be talking about a question that I have a lot of students have asked me in the past, and the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I had a student earlier that asked this exact question, and they wanted to learn, or kind of start beginning to learn, how to sing and play on the guitar. And this is a very common question. It's a very broad question. People just say, I want to get started playing and singing at the same time when I play the guitar. How do I do it? Because that's what I do when I play live. There's not one right answer, but I can kind of explain to people through experience and what I've seen work and what I've seen not work, the right and wrong way to approach it. So if that's something that you're interested in at all, is being able to perform, sing, and play at the same time, this video is going to be for you, because I'm going to kind of go in depth with it. Now, the very first thing that I tell people when they're interested in this is, ideally you want to make sure that you can at least play through the chord song that you want to sing. So say you want to learn how to sing, Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn. Can you play the guitar part first? And this is very important, because if you think about it, if you can't even play or strum through the chord song version on the guitar, you're not going to be able to sing over the top, right? So it doesn't mean you have to go right into being able to play, the strum pattern and all these little nuances and details, but are your chord switches up to par? Can you switch between your chords quick enough? Are you able to hold down the beat and keep time okay, at least decent enough, right? Are your chords ringing just fine? Are you really comfortable with that aspect? And that's key first. The second is, ideally, you want to be able to pick a song for your first song that you want to be able to sing and play. You want to pick a song that you know really well, right? Eventually, you can you'll get to the point where you can pull up a song that you just heard because it sounds awesome, and you start to learn it, and you can just start singing with it right away. Eventually, that's the case. But at first, you want to take a song that you know really well, that you could turn on in the car and just sing along to. And that's going to be kind of your first song. And I remember when I first started doing this, this was a long time ago now, I would pick songs that I knew really well and that you would hear all the time. I think one of my first songs was, I think it was Knocking on Heaven's Door, and I think it was maybe I think it was maybe Free Fallin', but this leads me to my next point, which is you want to pick a song that's in your range. So there's a lot of variables. You want to pick a song and find a song that you know really well, something that's in your range, both singing-wise, even if you're not a very good singer, just something that you at least aren't straining to sing, something that you're at least comfortable a bit with, and then something that you can play on the guitar. Once these 3 things are in order, you can attempt it. And I say that because if one of these things are off, you're really kind of digging yourself a hole here. So that's my first advice, right? There's nothing besides advice that I can give somebody when it comes to it. It's really going to come down to practice, experimenting with it, and just getting used to it and comfortable. I can give as much as advice as I'd like to give you, but that's going to be kind of the case. Now, eventually, if you start performing or singing and playing at the same time, and say you've been a musician for a long time and you understand, for example, things like musical keys, and you know how to transpose a song. You've never done it because maybe you've never gotten quite into singing and playing, but you know how to do it. That can be a really big deal in a good way. Now, for me, I didn't do that. I started singing and playing before I really knew any sort of music theory. So for me, that was kind of an issue, because I remember I would know a song and I would attempt to sing and play, and I would strain because my voice wasn't strong enough. It was maybe way higher than, way out of my range, something way too high for me. And if I knew how to transpose a song to maybe a lower key, or move the capo and be able to do all that stuff, I think I would have been better off, but I didn't know how to do that. So if you're in the same kind of boat where you're a beginner, you don't know any theory, you don't know how to transpose keys yet, that's okay. It took me years to learn and understand how to do that. That's okay. Just pick a song that you're comfortable singing. Now, if you do know how to do that, take advantage of that, because if there's a song that you're learning or you want to learn and say it's a little bit high, maybe it's free falling. For a lot of people, they can't sing in that original key. Maybe you have to drop the capo a bit or whatever the case may be. Use that to your advantage. But there's no reason that you can't at least practice it and slowly get better. My last tip is this. I have my students do this, especially when they're interested in it, is not to start off with the strum pattern. Even if you're a seasoned guitar player, you've been playing for years and you're just now getting into it, instead of starting with a strum pattern and trying to sing over the top of a strum pattern, your brain's gonna go crazy. Just start with down strums. You're gonna feel like a beginner again. That's okay, that's the point. You're a beginner at this idea, but just start with down strums. It's gonna make a heck of a difference. All right, I just pulled into the parking lot. As you guys can tell, I got about 40 minutes until I start performing tonight, but I hope you got a lot out of this. If you have any questions or anything that you want me to cover in the next Gig Talks episode, just let me know down in the comments. But I will see you guys next time for the next episode.